welcome to Pilates number 8. So it's the lucky last one for our 2-week challenge. And today's class is going to be a little bit of dynamic neuromuscular stabilization inspired. So basically these are a little bit more basic movements, but training muscle patterns in healthy ways and ways that they should have been trained back when we were learning to move. So we will start actually lying on the belly. So you're coming all the way down and you're bringing the arms out in front of you. So the arms are in a diamond shape. So if you had your face flat on the ground, the elbows would be lining up with your eyebrows or your eyes. So that's how far away you want them. So the elbows aren't anywhere near the shoulders, they're out in front. So we let the head rest, we inhale, and then exhale, push into the elbows, lift the chest. So it's almost like you're trying to push the elbows forward. So you don't want them to actually move, but you want to engage through the shoulders as if you were trying to do that action. So keep the neck long, lift through the crown of the head. And just 3 more breaths here. So you're just holding here. So hopefully feeling a lot of engagement around those shoulders and around the ribs. So it's like pulling those shoulder blades onto the rib cage. We just take 1 more breath here and release it down. Good. Now from here, we inhale, bring your left knee out, well it doesn't matter, left or right, and you're planting the foot and the knee on the ground. Tuck the right toes. So you can stay with the previous option if you like, just lifting the chest, but if you want to take it a little deeper, and this is a very challenging version of plank, just so you know, we lift up, so push into those elbows, lift the body. Try not to sneak the elbows back in underneath the shoulders. 3 more breaths here. It is strong. 2. Last one. And release it. So just be mindful that you didn't kind of sneak in and get those elbows in underneath the shoulders, because that is a much easier version of plank to hold on to. So we keep those elbows out. Good. And then we switch the legs over. So bring the right knee out. Plant the right knee, the right foot, ground the hands, ground those elbows, and we lift. Hold it there. Breathing still. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice, and coming all the way down. Hands out in front. Press up into those elbows once more, so you're just holding it high, just a little gaze, turning your head to one side, then the other, and turn, keeping the chest up, the shoulders are engaged. And just 2 more breaths there. And last one. Nice, and then inhale, gently release. So you can see the difference. If we come up onto the forearms, so this time we bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. So if you engage through the shoulders the same, so it's like you're trying to pull the armpits towards each other, tucking the toes, lift, and then we just hold our regular forearm plank for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, engage those shoulders and release it down. Good, so from here, now we roll onto the one side, so the right side if you can. So you're still in the forearm. So this is actually starting to engage the glute muscles a little. Excuse me. So you're bending the knees in. So as if you were coming into like a clam. So the heels kind of line up with the bottom. You see the knees in. Lift the top thigh. So it's about hip distance away from the bottom one. And they're parallel to each other. So you're still keeping all of that parallel. We inhale. The top hand is the last thing to touch. Exhale to lift up and work as if you were going to come up onto the hands and knees. So you're not actually going all the way to that point, but we lift up and press the hand. So the hand is the last to touch, because if the hand touches, you're going to use the hand to press yourself up. So we don't want to do that. We want to use the bottom hip or the bottom glutes and the bottom waist. So we inhale, exhale to come up. It'll feel like a really odd movement. And come up. And hopefully, this being the last in 2 weeks of half an hour of Pilates at least 4 days a week, we might be a little sore, so we might feel it a little sooner, or maybe not. Maybe you've breezed through it. And we take 7 more of these, and lift, lower, and lift. So if you like, don't come all the way down, just pause just before you hit the ground, and up. Good, 4 more, and lift, 3, lift, 2, and last 1. Nice, coming all the way up, onto hands and knees. Good, so from here, hands are underneath the shoulders. I will get to the other side. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Still engaging those shoulders as if you're trying to pull the armpits towards each other. Tuck the toes, and now we lift the knees off the ground. So this is our quadruped or bear, if you like. The knees are only just a little off the ground. And just 3 more breaths there. 2. Good, and last one. Nice, and lower it down. Good, and then we switch sides, so you're coming down onto that left forearm, so you don't have to turn around, but just the left forearm, bend the knees in, so the heels kind of line up with the bottom, elbow underneath the shoulder this time, lift that top knee, thighs, and then shins parallel, inhale, exhale to come up, and down, inhale to lower, exhale to come up, so you get that little twisting movement from the bottom hip and the bottom waist, and lift. But lower all the way down if you like, or pause just before you touch the floor and come up. So we come down and lift. With 8, lift, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 more, and up, 2, and last 1, coming all the way onto the hands and knees once more. Good, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. So we're coming back into that quadruped once more. So we just lift the knees, so you can actually do this without lifting the knees, but make it more challenging, lift the knees. So we lift the knees off, good. Inhale, come forward, exhale, press back. Inhale, come forward, exhale, press back. So you're trying to keep the hips low, coming forward, press it back, and forward, press it back. Good, 5 more. So it's more a forward and back motion than an up and a down. Try to keep the knees almost on the floor. So just slightly lifted. But 2, last 1, and back, and then come forward, come down, bring the knees down, and just fold it down into a child's pose or shell stretch. Hands reach out in front. So you're being a little active through the hands. Reach them forward so you get that nice little length or stretch through armpits. 2 more deep breaths here. Last one. And then we come back up. So coming onto hands and knees. So do feel free to come up. Do feel free to do this on forearms if you need to. So hands under shoulders once more, tucking the toes. So we come back into that quadruped. So lift the knees off. Inhale. Exhale, extend one leg out behind you. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, switch. So we're alternating, but we're trying to be really still through the hips, through the upper body. So nothing is changing except for one leg. So we're trying to not roll it open and shift it around. We're trying to keep everything else really locked on and locked in place. And alternate legs. Just 2 more each side. And 1 more each side. Good, and then release it down. Press it back, sitting up tall. Right, so now from here, we come up onto the knees, and we bring right leg out in front. So we work into the glutes just a little. So you can bring the hands out in front, take the back knee a little wider, and bend that back shin in a little. So if you think of it as if you were sitting cross legs, and then you've come up and over, you don't have to do that, but if that's the kind of angle you're getting through that back shin. So the front knee goes wide. We inhale, reach the arms out in front, and exhale to sink the hips towards the floor. Inhale to come up. So you can, depending on your flexibility and your range as well, come all the way down and up, sink it down and up. So we're kind of trying to use that front leg glute. So we sink it down, press the hips forward, sink down and lift, lower and lift. So we're trying to not use the bottom leg, inner thigh. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, coming up. Come down onto hands and knees, bring that knee back. So you're coming back onto the hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders once more, knees under the hips. So we go for round 2 of the alternating legs. We lift up, inhale, exhale, extend. Inhale, exhale, switch legs. Good, so you bring it in, press back. Bring it in, press back. Keep one knee on the ground if you need to. If you're finding it a little too challenging to keep still, engage the shoulders. One press. Hold the knees off. Hold the body still. And we do 2 more each side. Press. 1. Good, and come down. So we do the second side of our little get up idea. So from there, either coming from cross legs or coming from that kneeling. Front knee is out. So front foot out wide, bend into that bottom leg and bring the shin at a bit of an angle. Arms are out. We sink it down and come up. Press it down as if you're coming all the way down and lift. Sink, hinge from the hips, press up. So try to press from here rather than pull from that inner thigh. And lift. Lower it down and press up. Sink it and lift. Down, up. 5, lift. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, then come up, bring the hands to the ground, bring the knees underneath the hips once more. Last round of this one, I promise. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, last one, or elbows. Tucking toes, lift the knees if you can. Inhale, exhale, one leg extends. Inhale, exhale, switch. Pull the ribs towards the hips. Keep the belly button in. Move with the breath. Inhale in, exhale out. Push through the heel and press. Press through the foot. Hold it high. Keep the chest still. Shoulders engaged. 2 more each side. 1 more each side. Good, and then coming down, press it back to a shell. Belly towards the thighs, reach the arms out, and just fold it in here. We take 4 breaths. Deep breaths. 3, 2, last one. And then we inhale, slowly roll it up. Nice, and from there, take your feet to the left. So you're sitting on the right hip. So it's not every move in this practice is a DNS move. We mix it up a little bit, but we'll sprinkle it through. So the left or the top leg is really pulling back. We did do this in one of the previous videos. I'm sure you all loved it. So it's a repeat performance for this one. So from here you can keep the hands out in front to help support you here. It will make life a little easier. Or you can stack the forearms if you like, so whichever version works for you. So we inhale here. We're trying to squeeze the waist. Exhale, lift. Pull that left hip towards the left ribs. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So it doesn't matter how high the leg goes. Just try to keep the foot at the same height as the knee. So it's not about the size of the movement, right? So we lift, lower, lift. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. Hold it there. Flex through the ankle. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale. Exhale, press it back. So it's just a little forward about an inch. Press it back an inch. Forward and back. Forward and back. Keep it as high as you can. Use hands to support if you need. You got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice inhale, hold, and exhale to release it. Nice. So the hands come behind you and switch the legs over. So the other leg back, really pull it back so you're trying not to use the glute here. Hands out in front, stack. Some of the rare ones when we're trying to not use the glutes rather than trying to get them to move. Inhale, exhale, lift that leg. Keep the foot on the same level as the knee. So even if it means it's a smaller movement. Remember, so as soon as you try to go that way, you're really going to use glutes in the leg. So squeeze the waist and squeeze. And lift, lift. Use those hands for support if you like. Good. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it high, flex the ankle and press. Inhale forward, exhale back. Just a little forward and back. Forward, back. Nice. Small press, little press. Keep the ankle flexed. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice inhale, hold it. And exhale to release it. Nice. So you can shake that out. And bring the legs around in front. So make sure you've got room behind you to lay down, but we're not going there just yet. So we're going to sit up tall if you can. Legs are as straight as you can get out in front. Hands by the sides. Now we're going to try and keep the body still so it doesn't lean back as much as possible. We sit up tall and it looks really easy. Lift one leg off the ground. Hold it there. Push through the heel so you're keeping that leg long. Try not to curl in. Try not to arch back. Sit up tall. 3, 2, 1. And release. Nice inhale. Exhale, switch. So you're lifting the other leg. 5. Push out through the heel. 4. Squeeze through the lower waist. 2. One more breath here. And release. It seems like it should be such an easy thing to do, doesn't it? Okay, so from there, scoot forward. Make sure you've got that space behind you. Sit up tall. And exhale. Actually, roll it down to as far as you can. And know that you'll come back up. So really curl in. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3. Revisiting some of our favorites. 2. One more, the earthquake. Good, then we inhale to come up. Nice, then exhale, roll it down. Good, lift one arm up by the ears, keep those ribs in. 4, 3, feet on the ground. 2, 1, then we switch arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then inhale to come up. One more of those. So if you can, both arms are by the ears. If you really need to, you can come back to this or come back to the hands on the forehead. Otherwise, the arms are up. We inhale, exhale, roll it back, hold it there for as far back as you can go. Try to keep the arms by the ears. Just 4 more breaths. 3, 2, almost there. Last one, pull that belly in. Good, then we inhale to come all the way up. Reach the arms out. And this time we exhale, slowly roll all the way down for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice. Now from here, we're going to combo sort of the previous 2 moves. So it is called the banana. So if you have been doing my classes, you'll be excited about this one. And if not, then you're in for a treat. So the arms are overhead, the legs are lifted slightly, and it's just a little rock back and forward. So you're not trying to make it that huge come all the way up, because then we can get a bit of momentum happening. So we're not making it a big movement, and we're trying to keep the angle the same at the legs and the arms. So that's not changing. You're just doing little rocks back and forth. If you really need to, you can kind of come into a bent knee and just make it little rocks back and forward. So if that works better for you, but do try to stick with the arms. 5 more. 4, 3, it's the best, 2, and 1. Nice, and coming down and hug the knees into the chest. So hopefully that whole time when I'm offering modifications and things like that, you're still continuing. So that is the banana or a rainbow, so you're trying to keep that shape and keep the knees into the chest. And then from there we bring the legs into tabletop. The same way, keeping the feet and knees hip distance apart. The feet are just slightly higher than the knees. So we are coming into our DNS or dynamic neuromuscular stabilization training abs. So from there, hands on the hip, check in with that lower back, notice what's happening, make sure it doesn't change. So if you like, you can even put your hands and just check in. So we inhale, exhale, lower 1 foot towards the ground, inhale to come back up, exhale to switch, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So we have done these ones before, so hopefully we're quite familiar with them now. And exhale to lower. Inhale, exhale. Good, so we're alternating, making sure no changes through the belly, no changes through that lower back. Everything else stays really still and controlled. And the leg is the only thing that's moving. Now we reach the hands to the sky. And now we add the arms. 1 arm, opposite leg. Get that brain moving. So again, it's not the first time we've seen this one, so hopefully it's working maybe a little bit better. And alternating. Good. Move with the breath. So the exhale to extend away. Inhale to come back up. And 2 more each side. And 1 more each side. Good, then coming up. So you can keep alternating if you like. You can take the arms out of the equation again if you like, or we both arms, both legs. So still those same options if you want to make it more challenging for yourself. Add some weights or some resistance bands if you like. So I didn't bring any equipment because I know most people don't tend to have that stuff lying around, not like I do. So we just go with whatever we have on hand. We just do 6 more. 5, 4. Remember, it's not about how big those movements are. So if the toes don't touch, it's okay. 2. And last 1. Good. And then coming in, hug the knees to the chest. So we just get a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then we come back to center. We come back to that tabletop, well, as if we were going to do our dying bug. So this is working the obliques a little bit and a little bit of the side waist. So what it looks like, the arms are reaching to the sky. We inhale. And as you exhale, roll to one side. So try to keep the same angle at the knees, the hips, the same sides parallel, the same distance between the arms as well, and we come up onto that forearm. So we inhale, exhale to the other side, and lift. So you're just rolling and lift and rolling. It will feel weird, but that's also part of the beauty of doing these things at home. Nobody can see you. So if you feel like a bit of a kook, that's okay. Nobody's watching, presumably. So from there, we just rock from side to side, little lift, and up, side to side, and up. So you're just rolling onto the elbow as if you were going to try and come up from there. So just working that lower waist and up, and working the obliques. Good. We have 3 more each side, just because it's kind of fun. Got it. 2 more each side, and up. And 1 more each side. Lift, good, and lift. And coming back to center, and bring the knees in. Just a little squeeze for a moment. Good. And then from there, we plant the feet on the ground. Arms are by the sides. Feet are about hip distance apart. Just be mindful that your heels aren't really close towards the bottom. Just kind of step them out a teeny little bit so they're a bit further away from the body. You inhale, then exhale, tuck the tailbone. Slowly roll the hips up. So it's not quite a yoga back bend. We're just keeping those hips high and just hold here. Just take 3 more breaths there. So it's almost a little bit of a stretch out through the abs, but not quite. We're definitely starting to engage those glutes again. And 1 more breath here. So we inhale and exhale, rolling it down. Reconnect to the ground. So we inhale, then exhale, peel the tailbone off. Good. Now from here, we inhale, lift the right hip so you're getting a little sway to the right. Exhale to the left. So the legs aren't really moving. It's just a tilt to the right of the pelvis and a tilt to the left. So we keep the hips high without finding the arch. Just keep the spine long and tilt. So it's a little bit of a sway through the hips, giving the abs a break. Keep the hips high. Let's do 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. Inhale, hold. And exhale to roll it down. So we inhale. And then exhale. Roll it up. Good. So this time we inhale, bring the right leg in. Keep those hips neutral. Inhale, little dip with the hips. Exhale, press it up. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. Just dip, press, dip, press. Keep the knee bent. And just the foot is kind of casual, but there's a little bit of activity in that right leg. But mostly, hopefully, in that left butt cheek. Good. So 8, 7, 6. Keep it small. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we plant that foot. Switch it over. Left knee in. Inhale, little dip. Exhale, press. Try to keep the hips neutral so one is not sitting higher than the other. And lift. So they come down even. Press up even. Dip and lift. Nice. So you just have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1. Nice hold. Then release that foot. And exhale to roll the hips down. And so we inhale. Bring those knees into the chest. And then from there we rock back and forward till you come all the way up to sitting. Good. So from here, soles of the feet come together. The knees go wide. So we're trying to keep the feet further away from the body, not tucked in close. So we're trying to get to the outside of those hips rather than inner thighs. And we slide hands underneath calf muscles and fold. And we just take 5 breaths here. Just start to stretch it out a little. Although you do hopefully have half an hour of yoga coming up at some point to help you stretch that out. Or if you're feeling super tight through glutes and through the hips, then maybe revisit, I think it was Yoga 3 that was all about the hips. 2 more breaths here. Last one. And then inhale to roll it up. Bring the knees in. And exhale, swing the feet to your left. It's not the genie move, don't panic, it's just a twist. So we keep the feet to the left, sitting on the right hip, right hand behind you, keep it in close to the body, try not to lean it out, sit up tall, left hand to right knee, and exhale to twist. So you're keeping the spine long, turn the gaze over that right shoulder, deep breaths here. 2 more. Last one. So then we inhale to gently release, little unwind. And then bring the hands behind you, swing the legs to the right. So now the left hand right up close to the body, right hand left knee, sit up tall, and exhale to twist, looking over that left shoulder. Deep breaths, lift up through the crown of the head. 3 more. 2. And last one. Good, then we inhale, look to the front. Exhale, a little release. Good, and then bring the legs out in front. Now hopefully you do have that moment to give yourself relaxation time. So that's where we're at, is a half hour is done and our 8 Pilates are finished. So congratulations if you've made it, and if not, you've got, I don't know how many days, but quick scurry and catch up. So thank you so much.